Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episodes of Voyager, Season 2, Episode 26, and Season 3, Episode 1, the season finale and the season premiere, The Basics. So I was super excited for this because this is technically the first two-part episode, not counting the pilot, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do this episode live because I haven't done a live episode in God knows how long, and I was like, this will be exciting. And then I watched these two episodes, and I was like, these are probably the most boring episodes as far as a season finale and season premiere go, like, in Star Trek. So, I mean, just kind of my opinion. For whatever reason, I just did not feel engaged in these episodes. And, like, it just kept going and going. And it was kind of a necessary evil because it kind of brought some closure. And it kind of ended the saga of the first part of Star Trek Voyager. But yeah, I couldn't get into it. Like, I was super excited from the first start because Brad Dourif returns as Suitor, and his premiere episode, The Meld, I thought was a fantastic episode. And I mentioned how I completely forgot he was even in this series, and then watching it, it was so good. And then to see this episode, and it was kind of fun to see, or interesting to see his character develop a little bit, but still, like, I felt like they kind of shortchanged him. He could have done so much more, and instead, like, he plays the hero for this two-part episode, and then he's just killed at the end. We see Seska return, same thing. Like, we've had her build up for 2 seasons now, and in the beginning of this episode, she comes aboard and she's given birth to her baby, and like it kind of starts out with the like double cross where she's like, oh, the Kazon discovered that it's not his because it's a human baby, and so everybody thinks it's Chakotay's now. And then, again, by the time we get to the end of the episode, she dies, and that's the end of the Seska storyline. And it is kind of interesting throughout this episode, the Doctor reveals that it is not actually Chakotay's. It is a Kazon baby, and evidently just as an infant, Kazons look a little bit more human, and so that's it. And it's like, ooh, what a big twist. Couldn't get into it. The whole scene where they're using mirrors and holo projectors, like, it's kind of fun, but it's... like, it was definitely something I would have put into a different episode. Like, when they accidentally put the Doctor into space to get the Kazon's attention and stuff. Like, that could have been done really effectively in a different episode. Whereas in this one, where it is a season finale and a season premiere, and it should have had a little bit more attention grasping, it just kind of fell flat for me. And then Paris just runs off to the Talaxians. I was like, whatever. Like I said, this whole episode, I couldn't get into it. Seeing the crew marooned on the planet, again, could have been really interesting. But, I mean, mostly it's just them in caves and dealing with the natives of the planet, the giant CGI worm. I couldn't do it. And then finally we start to get to the major deaths of, like, Seska and Suitor. And then the Talaxians attack, and then they get the ship back at the end. So, for a season finale, I really wanted more. I could be wrong. I believe this is the last, like, big Kazon episode, or the last time we see the Kazons, and I'm glad. I'm so happy that they're getting away from the Kazons, they're getting away from Seska, and we can finally start getting into new stuff. Like, I'm super excited for that. And like I said, it's kind of a necessary evil where we have to get away from these storylines, but I feel like they could have definitely done it in a better way. So for those who have seen these 2 episodes, what did you think about the first big connection, or the first big cliffhanger, if you will? Go ahead, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for everything, and I will see you guys next time for Flashback.